Close your eyes for a second. No cranes, no machines, no electricity, no computers, no modern tools of any kind. Just your bare hands, copper chisels, wooden sledges, and the scorching heat of the Egyptian desert. Now someone tells you, build a structure taller than a 48-story building. Make it so perfectly level that across its entire 230-meter base, there is less than 2 centimeters of error. Align it so precisely with true north that even modern GPS would be impressed. And make sure it is still standing at perfectly, or 4,500 years from now. Impossible. The Egyptians did exactly that. And the proof is still standing in the desert today. Welcome to Mystery Stories 365, the channel where we dig into the deepest secrets, lost civilizations, and greatest unsolved mysteries of human history. I'm so glad you are here today because this story, the story of the Egyptian pyramids, is one of the most breathtaking mysteries our world has ever seen. Let us get into it. To truly understand the pyramids, you need to understand the world that produced them. 5,000 years ago, in the northeastern corner of Africa, a civilization was rising along the banks of the Nile River that was unlike anything else on Earth at the time. Every single year, the Nile flooded. And every year, when the waters pulled back, they left behind a thick, dark, incredibly fertile layer of soil. The Egyptians called it Kemet, the Black Land. On that soil, they grew their food, raised their families, built their cities, and started thinking about things far greater than survival. Around 3100 BC, King Narmer united the two halves of Egypt into a single empire. What followed was over 3,000 years of one of the most powerful and sophisticated civilizations in all of human history. At the very top of that civilization stood the pharaoh. Not just a king, a living, breathing god on earth. The Egyptians believed the pharaoh was the earthly incarnation of Horus, the god of the sun, sky, and kingship. And when the pharaoh died, he transformed into Osiris, the god of the afterlife and the dead. Now think about that for a moment. If your king is literally a god, what kind of tomb does he deserve? A small grave in the ground? Absolutely not. His resting place had to reach toward the heavens themselves. It had to stand forever. That belief, that single powerful idea, is what gave birth to the pyramids. But the pyramids we know today did not appear overnight. They were the result of centuries of trial, error, and genius. Before pyramids, Egyptian kings were buried in flat rectangular stone structures called mastabas, solid and practical, but not exactly divine. Then around 2650 BC, a brilliant architect named Imhotep had an idea that changed everything. He was working for Pharaoh Djoser, and he asked a simple but revolutionary question. What if we stack multiple mastabas on top of each other, each one smaller than the one below? The result was the Step Pyramid of Saqqara, 6 magnificent tiers, 62 meters tall, the world's first large stone structure ever built. From there, the Egyptians kept pushing. The Bent Pyramid came next, where engineers, realizing the angle was dangerously steep mid-construction, changed the slope halfway up. Then came the Red Pyramid, smooth-sided, true pyramid shape, a massive leap forward in design. And then Pharaoh Khufu arrived, and everything changed forever. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the only one of the original 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing. When completed, it stood 146.5 meters tall, as high as a modern 48-story skyscraper. For over 4,000 years, it held the record as the tallest man-made structure on the face of the earth. Nothing humanity built in that entire time came even close. It contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. The average block weighs around 2.5 tons. Some internal blocks weigh up to 80 tons. The total weight of the structure is approximately 6 million tons. But the precision is what truly staggers the mind. Across its entire 230-meter base, the level variation is only 2.1 centimeters. The 4 sides differ from each other by just 20 centimeters, and it is aligned to true north with an accuracy that modern engineers describe as extraordinary. No GPS, no lasers, no surveying software. Just human intelligence, observation, and an unbelievable level of skill. And Giza is home not to one but three Great Pyramids: Khufu's, Khafre's, and Menkaur's. Some researchers have noted that the layout of these three pyramids on the ground corresponds remarkably closely to the three belt stars of the Orion constellation, the very constellation the Egyptians associated with Osiris, their god of the dead. Whether this was intentional or coincidental is a debate that continues to this day. Now, the question everyone asks, how on earth did they do it? The stones came from different places. Most of the limestone was quarried locally near Giza, but the red granite lining the internal chambers was brought from Aswan, 800 kilometers to the south. The white casing limestone came from Tura, across the river. In 2013, one of the most exciting archaeological discoveries in years was made: the Diary of Mera, believed to be the oldest written diary ever found. In it, an Egyptian official describes in detail how his team transported limestone from Tura to Giza using boats along the Nile during the exact years that Khufu's pyramid was under construction. Real accounts, real logistics, real human beings doing an unimaginable job. For moving stones on land, workers placed them on wooden sledges and dragged them across the desert. An ancient Egyptian painting shows a worker pouring water onto the sand directly in front of a moving sledge, because wet sand reduces friction by up to half, making it significantly easier to drag enormous weights. This was confirmed in modern experiments. Simple, brilliant, effective. To raise the stones upward, ramps were most likely used, either straight external ramps or spiral ramps wrapping around the pyramid as it climbed higher. In 2018, archaeologists discovered an ancient ramp at a site called Hatnub, with wooden stake and rope systems that confirmed these techniques were genuinely used. For a very long time, popular culture pushed one persistent idea: that the pyramids were built by slaves. Thousands of people in chains whipped into building these monuments. That story is completely and entirely false. In 1990, a workers' settlement was uncovered right at Giza. Archaeologists found large, organized kitchens, bread baking facilities, medical treatment areas, and thousands of graves. The bones inside those graves told a remarkable story. Many workers had suffered broken bones that had been properly set and healed, meaning they received genuine medical care. Slaves were never given medical treatment. They were simply replaced. These workers were paid. They received food, and not just any food. Analysis of the bones reveals they regularly ate beef and fish, luxury foods in ancient Egypt. They were Egyptian farmers who worked on the pyramids during the flood season when farming was impossible. At peak construction, around 20,000 to 30,000 skilled workers were on site at any one time. Stone cutters, haulers, ramp builders, bakers, medical staff, administrators. A complete functioning city built around one singular mission. And perhaps the most human detail of all, worker teams gave themselves names like Friends of Khufu and Drunkards of Khufu. And these names were found inscribed directly on the stones of the pyramid itself. These were not broken, nameless slaves. These were proud, skilled craftsmen who wanted history to know they were there. The inside of the Great Pyramid contains 3 known chambers. The King's Chamber is lined entirely with red granite and contains a large stone sarcophagus, empty. No mummy, no treasure, looted centuries ago. The Queen's Chamber sits at a lower level, its true purpose still debated, and an unfinished underground chamber hints that the original plans may have changed during construction. The pyramid also has narrow shafts running from the chambers toward the outside. The shafts from the King's Chamber point toward the constellation Orion and toward the star Thuban, which was the North Star at the time the pyramid was built. Whether these were symbolic, spiritual, or functional, nobody knows for certain. But the biggest shock came in 2017. Scientists used a technology called muon tomography to scan deep inside the pyramid. And they found something nobody expected: a massive hidden void at least 30 meters long, sitting above the Grand Gallery. A completely undiscovered space inside one of the most studied structures in human history. What is inside it? Nobody knows. No entrance has been found. The Great Pyramid has been studied, measured, scanned, and examined for centuries, and it is still keeping secrets. The pyramids of Egypt are not just ancient buildings. They are the ultimate proof of what human beings can achieve when an entire civilization locks onto a single burning purpose. No aliens built them, no lost magic was involved. Just human intelligence, human organization, human dedication, and an unbreakable desire to say to the future, we were here and we mattered. 4,500 years later, those pyramids are still delivering that message. Loud, clear, unmistakable. That is all for today on Mystery Stories 365. If this video gave you chills, if it made you think, if it made you curious, then we did our job. Please hit the like button right now. Share this video with someone who loves history and mystery. And most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to Mystery Stories 365. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a single story. Drop a comment below and tell us which ancient civilization or mystery you want us to explore next. We read every single one. Until next time,